Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts here. And this is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for November 25th, 2023, with your host, Peacepicker2448, and Ramp It Up Slod.
Where's this show? Also, it screwed my filters up. Maybe that fixed it. Yay!
Hooray.
So I probably got cut off on stream. Screw this show.
Yeah.
As I said on pre-show, I didn't think I could, but I hate all of them more.
Somehow, some way. I can't believe you took characters that I was okay with and thought were cool and then made them annoying and made me want to fucking dunk them all in the toilet because god damn it all. God damn it.
Right? Thanks, Saber. You really know how to screw up a show.
Yeah.
Also, I'm still trying to fix stuff because I didn't realize it, but apparently some of the filters reset. Awesome. I don't know what did that. I unplugged my controller. That was it. But yeah, I feel like I'm at the point with this show that it probably has next week to do something before I'm just like, I'm done.
Fair. I have to see what next week involves. Okay, that thing, right? Because I saw that in the episode preview.
Wait, you've been watching those?
It was on long enough that I was like, oh, that next week is that thing. Okay. Then 23 is that. And then 24 is...
Oh, I've been ignoring the
that.
episode previews. I've been full on ignoring them.
Fair.
As soon as our ending dance sequence tries to start, I'm cutting it off.
Don't you love how Spada continues to be in the opening and all that, and he's dead?
Yeah. Almost like he's not dead.
So it's 17 through 20, folks, and this is where all the apathy kicks in again. This is where I'm just like, I don't care about anyone involved in this show because I'm at varying levels of I don't care and I kind of dislike all of you. Because also, is it just me, or does it feel like this is supposed to be what the start of the show is in terms of like these 2-episode arcs and stuff where we're doing things, not what the first arc of the show was?
Yeah.
Okay. Did we soft reboot the show and no one told us?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what's bad? I feel like there is 2 people out of this entire cast that I am fine with. One of them is on like very edge kind of deal of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, why are you not listening to the thing that you know about? You of all people should know this.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you know, we kind of have had another level-headed character in the group against Toma that he hasn't really done anything one way or the other. And I'm kind of fine with that. Why couldn't we get more of that?
But shall we get into the episodes themselves?
Sure.
So we kick off with episode 17, the ancient messenger of either light or shadow. I also love how we open with Toma hanging out in the second place anyone would look for him. Because bear in mind, the southern base wants him and Yuri for reasons. No one's trying very hard to get either of them.
I mean, we find that out later.
But it also doesn't help that we'll get to it.
It doesn't help that, you know, he's on this one roof that they've all been to countless times.
And I'm pretty sure someone goes to later.
Or is it the fact that he went back to his bookstore that they know is his? Or the fact that he makes a step further and goes to the northern base? You know, the thing that I would assume they have some kind of fast travel between the two bases.
And that they probably should have locked him out of, considering how he gets there is the same back door that they made in his bookstore in like episode 3. Everyone's at the southern base. It's hard to tell, I know, but the lighting tells you the difference between the northern base and the southern base.
Yeah, the southern base can't afford lighting.
And they also can't afford the big center console thing that the northern base has. They could just only afford chairs.
And sometimes not even that.
Yeah. But like, okay, Toma is wanted. Why did no one lock up the northern base? Would it be a bad idea to let him still walk around the northern base?
Okay, he's wanted. Most of them have interacted with him. Most of them in his current state could kick his butt and take him back. Yet no one does it. So do they really want him?
I'm also looking at Reika, who's just standing around talking nonsense, and I'm like, did you not think to go lock him out in the northern base? Because that might be a good thing to do to limit his resources.
Well, she's talking out of she's talking out of both sides of her mouth, because when she's talking to them, he's the traitor. When she's talking to mystery phone person, oh, he's the best thing walking.
Yeah.
I love that we have this whole someone's a traitor within the group. Yeah. Show's telegraphing it hard.
I wonder who it could be. It could be anyone.
It definitely couldn't be the, I don't know, new character that has been talking out of both sides of her mouth.
Yeah. So yeah. That happens. Also, May's boss is the YETEI, because I have to make the reference. It's a WCW reference for folks wondering. Just go look up the Yeti WCW. You'll understand. And don't worry about the fact that it looks like a mummy. No, it's a Yeti. I'm sure that has confused everyone listening to this.
Probably.
But Toma may head back to the store. It's been broken into and ransacked because Yuri made a book reading books so he could learn about the current time because he's been in Avalon for like 1,000 years or so. Okay. Everyone else is at the southern base getting orders by Reika to just go get Toma and Yuri, and then no one will do it because...
Reason.
Pretty much. Reika, you have one job. Get Toma and Yuri. Why the fuck don't you do it yourself at this point?
Because she doesn't have a fancy driver. Visible.
I was about to say, yeah, because spoilers, she does have one, and she's had it the entire time. And
uh-huh.
Anyway, Yuri shenanigans with him swapping clothes and stuff, and I don't fucking care. Oh my god, what?
Yeah, that he does it in this one scene, and then doesn't do it the rest of the time. He's in his hobo attire the rest of the time.
Yeah, I don't understand Yuri's character in the show. Because on one hand, he has all these scenes where he's like talking up like what it means to be a swordsman and is like trying to test Toma to see if he is worthy of the power that he's apparently destined to be because this one chick decided to hang out with him when he was a kid because that's how that works, I guess. But on the other hand, you have shit like this where he's like swapping clothes with random people, and then later on he'll steal May's phone because it's dinging, and he's like, I have to take this and fiddle with it. Not even trying to open it and look at stuff. No, just fiddle with it in his hands. Amongst other things. And I'm like, what the fuck is your deal, Yuri? I don't understand. Are you some sort of serious swordsman? Or are you a man at a time? Because you're doing bad at both.
Yeah.
But anyway, then the YETEI shows up. Toma fights it, and Yuri fights Legolas, who also shows up. And then Toma does a rider kick on the YETEI, and then it breaks the book away from May's boss, and they find out, oh no, they're trying to turn people into Megites. And then Legolas just shoves the book back in her, transforming it back to the YETEI. It's at this point that I was like, wait a minute. Don't the next 3 episodes? Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So what's the point of Yuri if Toma can separate the person from the book before they become the monster?
Uh-huh.
Actually, revise. Before they are fully taken over by the monster and disappear forever, except not that fast.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I feel like we broke the entire logic of the next, like, several dozen episodes from this one scene.
Yeah.
Because I just have to look at Toma, who just is flailing about trying to hold the monster back, being like, no, don't attack people, but also I'm not going to fight you. And I'm like, Toma, you broke the book away from her already and she was okay. Why aren't you doing that again? Because you're worried about hurting them? Fucker, would you like them to disappear forever? No? Then fucking man up and kick that woman's ass.
Okay.
So you can get the book out of her.
And you know what's bad? So I can partially understand the concern for these 2 episodes.
Yes.
Or these 4 episodes, I guess I should say. These 2 arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he knows that Yuri can magically heal any wounds.
Yep.
Is there really any need for him besides being medic at this point now? Because now it's just beat the book out of them, and then heal them.
Yeah, and break the book before one of the three Backstreet Boys shows up and shoves the book back in them. Because Toma, I remind you, you have a gun. It's that thing strapped to your left hand. It's a gun. You can shoot the book when you break it out of them. Therefore, they can't put the book back in them.
It's a suit and also a gun.
Yes. Toma, why do you suck? Because I'm just reminded of all the times they had Aruto flail about with the human gears that got taken over in 01. That annoys me to no end. And I'm like, oh my God, they're doing it again, except worse, because there's no reason to do this.
Yeah.
It's also no reason for Toma to stop people from doing it because he knows they'll be okay. Anyway, we find out the whole deal with the books and stuff. At this point, everyone goes their separate ways to regroup. Yuri tells Toma, you have to strike them down to save her. And Toma's like, no, I want to save her. I don't want to kill her. Yuri never clarifies what he means. Don't worry, that will hurt later. And then Toma tries to fight the Yeti again. He fails. So Yuri has to show up, and now he gets his second form. His shadow form, which is a suit that holds the sword. Don't worry, it's an actual solid suit if you've only seen this episode, instead of just whatever transparency CGI filter they applied to the suit for whatever stupid reason for this episode.
Yeah. That one kind of broke me. Because it's like, why?
Fair.
Why did we do that?
Whose idea was this, and who told them no, don't do that ever again? Because one of them deserves to be kicked in the nuts. The other person deserves a reward for telling them this looked terrible and stupid, and we are not doing this again.
Yeah, one needs fired, the other needs promoted.
But Yuri tries to strike down the monster. Toma saves her at the last minute, and then everybody fucks off and leaves. Episode 18, The Flames Obsession, defeating the Megid. Toma and Yuri now butt heads over how they feel about things, because Yuri is not telling them the whole story, and Toma apparently is not asking the right question.
That'll hurt later.
Hey. Yep. Also, Toma soaks off to the northern base to mope about as Yuri talks to him about his backstory. And I'm just like, who let him still have the key to the northern base? How? Why? Wouldn't it have been a smart idea to lock him out of there? Reika, why did you let Reika, why are you bad at your job?
Actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Could they lock him out? No one ever took the key away from May.
The key only got her the book. That gives her the big fancy. How they opened up got to the northern base was a book. Was the Bookgate book. That's how they got to the northern base to start with.
Yeah, to start with.
Yeah.
But that key might have had more significance.
I thought the key was only for the book that tells May where the monsters are going.
I mean, that's all the show's saying, but it might have had more.
Because I'm also pretty sure that they say later on that the book gates can be locked out of getting them to certain locations.
But I thought that was only in pertaining to them chasing down the Megids and the Wonderworld.
No, apparently not. It's very stupid. It's what we're getting at eventually. Anyway. Yuri talks about how he sealed himself within the Sword of Light and lost his humanity because he wanted to keep the Sword of Light from people who would misuse his power, because the Sword of Light and Sword of Shadows were the original two swords, and then all the other swords came from them, apparently. Cool. Moving on. Daisuji and Rentaro tried to talk to Toma, and they're like, there's not a traitor in the Sword of Logos. We would know. And then Yuri has to show up and be like, guys, there's a traitor in the Sword of Logos. I've literally been watching you for like several years now. There's a traitor in the Sword of Logos. Your organization is fucked up.
Which they still don't believe in.
Ah, yes, let's not believe the legendary Sword of Light that literally is the polar opposite of the sword that we just beat. Also, they're like, but you believe the person that betrayed the organization. I'm like, right. But maybe he had a point. Maybe that was why he did all this. Because all Toma is telling you that he did all of this for a reason. And maybe we should investigate that reason and make sure that bad things don't happen. But nobody wants to listen to him.
Everyone wants to be stupid.
Yes. So then Toma and Rentaro end up fighting the Yeti, and end up fighting over trying to fight the Yeti, because Toma's like, the Yeti's a person, and Rento's like, bullshit. And then Yuri and Daisuji fight because Yuri, I hate so much that Yuri has to be distracted, just ooh shiny over in the corner, or like not be busy fighting someone else so often in these episodes, so we can't solve the conflict immediately.
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed about that, because I'm just like, all right, Yuri has to be fighting someone else, or Yuri has to be involved elsewhere before we can get the conclusions of the fight, because otherwise this plot would be solved by now. So it's a lot of running around until the end in the last 5 minutes, which is also Gio's problem. Just to put it out there. For you to understand why I'm so annoyed.
Almost like Saber has all of the bad qualities of most of the shows we've watched.
Yeah. Anyway, the fight eventually gets broken up and stuff, and everyone goes and regroups for round 2. We get round 2 in a warehouse, and it's just Toma and Yuri versus the Yeti, and it's Legolas is here. I believe it's Legolas for all of these, because it's his monster. Or hooray, one of the 3 Backstreet Boys that I just don't give a shit about. God, I don't care.
Also, shout outs to the problem that both Build and X-Aid had of we have these same group of enemies repeated.
Yep.
That are constantly getting their butts kicked.
Yep.
But not enough to go boom.
Yep. Yeah, they fight and fight and fight and fight. And Toma lets the book almost get formed fully and pop out, and then blows up, and that saves May's boss, because there's a window of opportunity for him to do so, and therefore he does it. And then him and Yuri blow up the monsters and stuff, because the monster is still there, even though May's boss has been separated from it, because...
And its book has been destroyed.
Yes. Because reasons. Because we need something to blow up. But yeah, they fight and fight and save the day. Hooray. But then later, Yuri tells Toma, by the way, I could have just hit the monster and saved her anyway. That's why I told you that I need to strike her down to save her. And I just can't help but just go, God fucking damn it. Yuri. Words. Explain. That is not something that is unique to your time. Just talk to people, you fucking asshat. So yeah, that's half our episodes. How do you feel about our first half?
Eh. And that's about it.
I was about to say, the silence says everything.
It was only silent on Discord.
Okay. I'm seeing all the reasons why I didn't like this show to start with. And this might be the first time that I downgrade a show. Because this show is so close to getting put at the front of the dumpster. It's so close. It's like one really bad episode away from getting put at the front of the dumpster because I don't care anymore.
Speaking of which,
besides these four, I've already watched these four. I mean, one more bad episode in 2 weeks.
I just had to.
Shall we get to the other 2 episodes?
I am fully, and I mean the last 2 more so did than first.
Mm-hmm.
I am so at the point where if something doesn't change in the next batch, I'm done.
Fair, because I'm at that point too of like, I'm tired. I would like to move on to good stuff. Luckily, I have the thing ready to move on that would be a good thing. And I would be more than happy to move on to it. But shall we cover the second half?
Guess so.
All right, episode 19, Flame and Light, Sword and Sword. Yuri does some exposition stuff while trying to steal May's phone because ooh, shiny, and I am distracted from what he's saying by him constantly trying to move towards May's phone to grab it for some reason. So I don't remember what he's expositing about.
I don't either.
I think the entire thing he's been trying to say all for, of course, these 4 episodes is if all the swords and all the books come together, the big book of omniscience will get summoned, and then whoever has it will get to reshape the world as they desire, and that's a bad thing, so don't do that. And that's it. Anyway, people keep disappearing, and then there's some model maker who's really likes the model that's in Toma's shop and will drop by later to say hi, but then turn out to be a monster because Story has turned him into some king monster that keeps stacking stuff and whatnot. And so they fight him several times over the course of the episode. But before that, shenanigans with May's mom.
Chase.
Yes.
Because I don't think they ever actually fight this.
Yeah, this also annoys me because the entire time, Toma's supposed to be like using Dragonic Knight, and we're supposed to see how cool Dragonic Knight is. And don't you love how much Dragonic Knight doesn't fight in these episodes? And doesn't get to look cool because Toma has to job until the last 5 minutes.
And what's bad about that is Draconic Knight is actually a pretty good form.
Yep.
So add that to the list of good forms that you don't get to see enough.
Speaking of, did you also remember that Rentaro has a form upgrade that he has right now that he's only gotten to use once, kind of?
I mean, he just got to use it once. He's also not been in suit for how many episodes now?
Several.
I think since he got that form, the last episode was the only one.
But yeah, it's fights and stuff, and eventually Daishinji shows up to interrupt it, and he fights Yuri for a bit, and they're kind of equal-ish. And then he fights Toma, and Toma loses, and he's like, Toma, you suck. because Daishinji's trying to figure out if they're telling the truth or not by clashing swords with them, because that's a thing he can do, and he doesn't apparently learn anything, really. So, episode 20, destroy the stronghold, the will of the sword. Daishinji confirms to the other people, hey, the whole people getting turned into Meggy thing is true, so we should probably do something about that, but then nobody does anything about that.
Because why should they do anything about that?
Also, I put the wrong person as is still in a pissy mood. It's Ren still in a pissy mood, not Rentaro. Ren's still in a pissy mood about all that stuff. So when Toma is stuck fighting Megid and the Megid and Legolas, Ren shows up and then fights everybody because I'm mad, so I'm gonna fight everybody.
No, he doesn't fight everybody. He smacks everyone out of the way so he can fight Toma.
Yes, because he wants.
Because
Kento's
screw
sword.
doing his job and, stopping the monsters. No, I'm gonna go after Toma because I'm pissed.
Yep. Who let this small child off his leash? Also, Disaster now shows up because chaos, I guess. This is why I don't care about the fact that these two have like an arc and stuff later on, because this is the shit they do at the start of the show. It's just Disaster shows up randomly to, I guess, do a thing maybe, and then Ren's also here to be annoying. And then you throw these two people together, and I go, why do I care? I don't care because you didn't do anything with these characters for 30 some odd episodes, and then now throw them together. Fuck off. This is not earned in the slightest bit. I don't even know. How do you feel about the Zast?
I think he's just the random troll that we get at a whim kind of deal, because the writers thought it would be funny to throw someone else in there. Because I really feel like that's the only reason for it. There's really no reason. I'm sure there's something that they intended to do, but it's like there's nothing. He's not helping either side. He's not doing anything to help himself. He's just inserted wherever they feel necessary.
Yeah.
And it's like, your point is what exactly?
He is a chaos gremlin, but the worst kind of chaos gremlin. The pointless kind. At least when Juggler's Juggler is being a chaos gremlin, he's doing it for his own gain. And is actively... He actually does get stuff out of being a chaos gremlin. Disaster gets nothing. He's gained nothing outside of, well, now I don't have to listen to anybody. It's like, I mean, okay, you weren't really listening to anybody to start with.
Yeah.
You have your book back. Cool. That's changed nothing. You're still doing the same shit you were doing before, which is to show up and fight someone.
Also, before this episode, I forgot that he was a thing because we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Except for I'm gonna swoop in, steal my book real quick, and then peace.
I also forgot to mention that at some point we showed Sophia being locked in the broom closet at, I believe it's the southern base, because someone walks up to her all menacing like, and it's like, oh yeah, right, Sophia's locked in the broom closet somewhere and no one's thought to go look for her. Because everyone thinks the Meggies have her, and the Meggies are like, who? Who the fuck are you talking about? We don't know who the fuck she is. And everyone's like, oh. Well, they could be lying, and I'm like, what evidence do you have that the Meggy have her? Reika? Reika told you? Okay, Reika, what's your evidence? Where did you see them? Did you see them take her somewhere? Do you have anything for us to follow up on? No. Again, Reika being bad at her job.
Yep.
Yeah, Yuri breaks up this fight between everyone, and then everybody goes their separate ways. And then Toma ends up talking to Rentaro, and then Yuri says the wrong things, and then Reika shows up, and it's the same conversation we've had for like 3 episodes, and I don't fucking care. But luckily, May, who got blown away in the last fight, figures out that, oh, the monster's going to go to the center place and build a castle. So Toma and Yuri go there to stop him, and then they fight. And then at some point, Toma, like, gets his arm broken or something. I don't know. I blanked out for this fight because I stopped caring.
Fair.
I don't know why Toma's down an arm. He just is. Because again, we have to have Toma job all the time as he has the best suit in the at his best suit presence in the show.
I mean, it's
Anyway,
either that or we have him die repeatedly. Oh wait, that's already been done.
But yeah, Toma saves the kid. They beat up Legolas. Day is saved. Also, Yuri has healing power, so he can heal Toma and May from their injuries. Hooray! I can't wait for them to forget that he has that power.
I can't wait for the show to forget he has that power.
That might be helpful.
And for the show to forget he has memory altering powers.
Yes, they all 2 times that they've done that, and
in just these 4 episodes.
Yeah, and it really matters that they did that, I guess. Because, like, okay, so May's boss, who it might be interesting that she's, maybe a part of the supporting cast now. So
Except
that May's
no.
not. Nope. And then random person who will never show up again. That is all the people they've mind wiped.
Yep.
So that's Saber for the week, folks. How do you feel?
For the show.
Fair. I'm starting to realize I was soft on this show. I'm not going to be soft on this show anymore.
I'm starting to realize I called it exactly right, that I needed to walk away from it when I did.
Fair. I love that it's a Rin episode that made you go, nope, fuck this shit. And
yeah.
It's...
as we rewatched it, that's when I was like, wait, yep, that's exactly why I walked away from it.
And Red hasn't even done anything outside of the 2 episodes that he's been a shithead in. And yet somehow Rin's character is emblematic of everything wrong with the show.
Yeah. And what's bad is the first arc of the show. I probably could have got through had I just went past Ren's introduction. What's bad is that also means that, I probably would have stopped before the last episode of the last batch of it.
Yeah.
So I might have gotten up to 20. I definitely wouldn't have kept going. That's all there is to it. If it was up to me, I would be done with the show right now.
Fair. Because I'm just.
But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? We're doing it for TGSR. We'll at least get halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would place this one right there alongside Kabuto.
Oh God, that is damning for us.
I have lost the interest to even entertain this show farther, kind of deal. Which is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm really hoping that Gotchard doesn't do me the same way. Because it's just at the meh for me right now. Maybe if we get into story stuff with Gotchard, it might work. But right now I'm just meh.
I feel like it has to try really hard to hit this level. Because I'm okay with the show. Not like, oh, this is a favorite of mine, but more of a, oh, I can watch this week to week without a big issue. It has to do something incredibly stupid.
I mean, fair.
And it hasn't done that incredibly stupid thing yet. Yeah, in 2 weeks we will. Saber's fate shall be decided as it has 4 episodes to either make us want to watch more or it goes in the bin and we move on.
I will be fair to it. It either has to make me want to keep going or at least not be as dumb as the batch. If we have 4 more episodes like this batch, I'm done. I'm done. If we at least try to show something, sure, I'll give it a shot. But it's not going to be a strong one.
Mm-hmm. All I know is we are moving on to greener pastures after this because we, regardless of where we end off on Saber, we're probably going to do the S4 Gridman trilogy of material, which is S4 Gridman the show, S4 Dynazenon the show, and then Gridman Universe, since all 3 of them are out in full. And it will be easy enough to watch all 3. So, even though no, someone's probably done the Blu-ray rip for Gridman Universe and we don't have to watch the 480p airplane version of it. But that's in 2 weeks and in the future. But between now and then, tomorrow it's 5 and 6 of Mario Kart 8 DLC. Hooray!
Yeah, that one will be next thing.
Next Thursday, I continue Project Cross Zone. Next Friday is the Fortnite on like the last day of Fortnite OG season, essentially.
Kind of.
I think last full day-ish, because I think the live event's like Saturday at some point.
Yeah.
And when they do the live event, the servers will go down for the update for next season. That's how it usually goes. And then next Sunday, I don't know what we're doing next Sunday.
Saturday.
Or right, next Saturday is TGS. I don't know why I skipped Sunday. But yeah, next Saturday will be TGS, where we'll get to talk about the game stuff of varieties and whatnot. So if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate chipping away at Filico at TGS on Twitter. We'll give you updates to go live. Exclamation point, Discord check. Get starting. Drop by, say hi. We'll see you tomorrow.